Good morning, guys, and happy Monday. Sorry you haven't heard from me for a couple days. Things have been a little crazy. I had to go into a meeting early Thursday morning, like real early, and I was running late, to be honest. And then Friday we had professional development day, and I was presenting, so I was there early as well. So I apologize, but happy Monday. Today I want to talk to you all about compassion. As we all know, our nation suffered a sad loss with the plane crash that took place in D.C. and then another one in Philly. And the loss of life was horrible. Now, for me, as sad as it is, when things like this happen, I purposely try to find out the personal stories of those people that are lost. That's what I look at. I don't look at pointing blame. I don't look at spouting ignorance in the midst of this family's trauma and this family's pain. I was disgusted, to be honest with you, by the leaders of this country's response, like taking it straight to, DEI hire or whatever. No, these families are in pain, and what they need is compassion. They did not need for it to be politicized. And you guys know that I try to stay clear from making too many political comments, but that was ignorant and it was not compassionate. These people have lost their family members. They've lost their friends. And the so-called leadership of this country decided that it would be a good idea to spend their political misinformation and ignorance at that point. And then I thought about how many times are we like that? How many times do we find out that somebody's gone through some pain or some trauma, and instead of being compassionate, instead of acknowledging their pain, instead of allowing them to deal with their grief, we want to bring some negativity. Well, how did it happen? Well, why were they did it? Why were they there? That is not what a compassionate, loving person would do. And it's definitely not what you would want done to you. I think that our country as a whole sometimes lacks that compassion. And part of the reason that I make sure I always know the personal stories of like the people that were involved in this crash, or like when there's a school shooting, I try not to focus on the shooter. I focus on the stories of those that were lost. While it saddens me to hear these stories, and it's tearful and it's painful, it also keeps me from being that ignorant person that does not show compassion. It keeps me from being desensitized by these needless and innocent deaths. It keeps me from making ignorant statements. It keeps my focus on what's important, and that's the fact that there was life loss, and there are families that are grieving those lives. Those families don't care about politics. Those families don't care about anything else but the fact that those loved ones of theirs will not be coming home. And so I guess my challenge to you is to be compassionate. Stop turning somebody else's grief and trauma into something to lift you up, into something to bring focus to you. Because as angry as we may be with the so-called leader of this country for doing that, we tend to do the same thing. We Facebook troll when we find out somebody has died. Not because we're concerned about the family.